dirty, just buy a new one. Hey, Lou's up next, right?
Lou with lights from Bell & Howell.
I like that brand.
I thought I was gonna say, I thought there was a mistake. I was like, do I have Lou and Chad?
We both love you.
Man, this is like a sweet little treat this morning. Lighting in your yard. We're gonna stay with Bell & Howell. You know that they've won, Academy Awards for lighting. They've been around for a gajillion years. But sometimes you get them and they're like, it's a 2-pack. It's a 4-pack. Oh, look, what am I gonna do with 2? What am I gonna do with 4? What am I even gonna do with 6? Hold my beer. New from Bell & Howell, 8-pack. An 8-pack of solar lights that can go anywhere because you don't have to wire these. The sun charges them up, turns them on and off by themselves. Great set. You're picking them either in a round silhouette or in a square. And Lou put these on half price. These are $60 for the 8-pack. It's $29.99. You wanna know why you put them on half?
Tell me.
Because you wanted to one-up Chad Allen right before you.
I did want to one-up Chad. And thank you, Chad, for warming up the audience. I appreciate that.
8-pack is really what we need. Because I feel like you have to buy multiples of a 2 or a 4.
So here's what I do with these lights, okay? When I stake them into the ground, like down my driveway or wherever, I do 2 paces between every light, okay? So in other words, I'll take 2 steps, put a light down, take 2 steps. By the time I've done that, I've got my entire driveway lined if I have 8, okay? So it's kind of the sweet spot when it comes to these lights. Now, let's talk about these for a second, okay? Because I don't care if you're getting the square ones. I actually had to look down and make sure we still had them.
Yes.
Because they're crazy popular.
250 left in the square.
All right, so if you want the square ones, now's the time.
Yep.
But no matter which one you're buying, when you look at these, in fact, I'll pick up one of these too. These are all 305 stainless steel all the way around, okay? And that's a big deal because a lot of the lights you're gonna buy out there, a lot of solar products are gonna have mystery metal, okay? So these have bona fide stainless steel all the way around. Very, very low profile lights. So you can use these a variety of different ways. You can set them on their back like this on stairs or on a tabletop, use them as coasters. That's a wonderful thing to do. You can stake them into the ground, and we do give you a stake for every single one of the lights that you're getting in this set. Or if you look at the back of this, it has what we call a keyhole in the back. So you can actually hang these on a nail or a screw. Yeah, right there. Let me see if I can get the light. There we go, boom. Right there, that's the keyhole, okay? And that's where you're gonna be able to hang this. So you can actually put these on a mailbox, on a fence, a railing, a wall, anywhere you wanna mount it sideways. But the big deal with these is that they're what we call uplights, okay? It's not like some of your solar lights where they just throw a little circle on the ground, okay? These guys are gonna project that light up into the air. What's that gonna do for you? Anything above them is suddenly going to come to life at night. I'm talking about if you've got a bird fountain, if you've got trees, if you've got statuaries, architectural features, even if you just put them along your flower beds, all the bushes above them are going to light up, and it really transforms the way your house looks at night, Tina. It just kind of brings everything to life.
And I don't have to do anything.
You don't have to do a darn thing.
Sold.
Yeah, done.
I don't have to do anything.
By the way.
We just turn the lights down and they're like, hey, it's dark, I should come on.
Now, yeah, exactly. They just come right on. But look how great these look. And they're lighting up the grass in front of them right here. And so everybody understands what you're looking at here is this is 8 of the square, this is 8 of the round, okay? This is what you're getting. This is the quantity you're gonna have to play with, so now, it looks like a lot, and it is if you're just doing the front of your house. But if you're gonna do the back as well, I always tell people, get that second set, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna put them out there, you're gonna say, wow, those look amazing.
Yeah.
But let's face it, I don't spend a lot of time in my front yard.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want it to look great when people drive by, when company comes. I want it to look nice for them, okay? But I spend most of my time, I'm a little selfish, in the backyard. So I want my backyard to look amazing, and that's why I've got a set of these in my backyard along my fence line, hanging on the fence. I've got a PVC fence back there. I put a couple up there, and it looks absolutely amazing, okay? But again, no wiring and no hiring. We're not getting an electrician. I don't have to dig a trench. I don't have to run cable like this all around my yard, and inevitably, I'm going to cut it at some point and have to replace it.
We've done that.
No, there's none of that going on.
These ones drive me, we've never owned these for the exact reason I'm about to tell you, is when I walk by other people's yards and they're all, they're all
they're never straight. Isn't that weird?
Maybe
like
I'm a little OCD, maybe I'm a little because I just want to go there and straighten all of them.
It makes me crazy.
Right? So we just never bought them because I just didn't want to continue to fix. These lay flat, they hang flat. You have to do nothing. I will tell you for 8, underneath the name of Bell & Howell, for what you're getting, $60. These are half off today. So really, if you bought 2 8-packs, you're back at its original price.
Yeah, no,
right?
you're right.
So square and round, we started out with a little more than 300 at the beginning of this presentation.
Right.
We have now dipped almost to 200 at this point. So if the square is the 180 left, sorry, 180 left in the square.
Yeah.
In the square, if that's the one you're looking for, I would, if you need multiple packs, do not go, I'll come back and get another 8-pack.
No, don't do that.
Because those will be gone, the
Oh,
square.
No, 100%,
Yeah.
they will be gone. Yeah,
So-
and the square we don't always have. That's the other thing, too.
That's why, I think.
Yeah, I think so, too, because, I mean, now, most of mine, in fact, all of mine, I think, are round. Okay, the ones that I have at my house, but that's because the square ones are so hard to come by. We only offer them, like, every once in a while. So if that's kind of your jam, you're looking at it going like, you know what? No, I'm into the square, man, because that's a really cool design. You need to get them now, okay? And again, you know, I'm not telling you to hoard, but you know what? If you can get a couple of sets of these. And here's the other thing, too, people don't think about. Because these are solar lights, because they're just so lightweight, even an 8-pack of them is like about this tall. They're easy to take with you. I've gone on RV trips with my wife, Kelly, and we've taken these with us and put them around our campsite. And people are just like, wow. Guy Yovan always tells me, you know, the story about how every 4th of July, he goes to the beach, sets up a little encampment out there so he can watch all the fireworks, and he circles it with his disc lights. I mean, it's a very cool little device to have, and just such a great advancement. And the thing about these is, do not underestimate the amount of light that these put out. Because you were talking, I heard you talking earlier about Bell & Howell and their rich history in lighting. You know, every year, they improve the LEDs that are inside of these, you know, and they don't sleep on their laurels, you know what I mean? Every year, they will update these again and again and again. And right there, you're seeing how they work. I mean, all day long, they sit there, they take that free energy from the sun, then when it gets dark, they turn on, when it gets light, they turn off, you do nothing.
If you missed it, that was the installation.
Yeah, that was it right there.
She just like, there you go, there's the installation.
Right
That's
there,
all you have to do.
There it is again.
It's so easy. I mean, and you don't even have to stake it. If you just want to lay it on your pathway, you can.
No, you totally can. Well, let's talk about what's going on right there. When you see it on the staircase like that, okay? That's beautifying, but it's also security. It's safety, okay? So people don't trip on the stairs when they're going up and down the stairs. You don't want that, all right? It's a great way to line pathways. Oh, it's amazing. If you've got a deck, put them on the railings like you're seeing there. They look fantastic. But in the front of your house, I'm telling you right now, when the bad guys are going around, they're looking for places that they're like, you know, that house looks like they've got some good stuff inside, okay? If you've got any kind of lighting outside, they're going to think twice about that. They want the dark house. They want the one that screams nobody's home. When you see any kind of lighting, and here's the other thing, these don't look like solar lights when they're on in front of your house. They look like the expensive lights that are actually, you know, put into the ground in front of your house. And to get those lights is very expensive, okay?
I think I only see those at like hotels and things like that.
They're very expensive.
I want to reiterate 8.
Yeah, 8. You're getting an 8-pack
because
of these.
I think that's the big story here is I think some people went got solar lights that were in a 2-pack and then a 4-pack and then maybe a 6-pack they splurged or then they buy multiple packs.
But bam.
8 that you can put anywhere, front yard, side yard, backyard, hang it, put it on the shed, put it on the stairs. Square is about to sell out. If you want it in the square silhouette, in the shape of the square, that one will sell out. So I want to make sure if you want that one, if you want multiples of that, maybe you already bought the 8-pack in the square, now you're ready for another 8-pack. These are half off. So
that's
that
crazy.
also helps in buying if you need multiples. That FlexPay gets it down to $10. We do still have some in the round.
Oh yeah, I love the round. All of mine are round.
I just don't want anyone to miss out on the square.
No, because again, it's like Haley's Comet. It doesn't happen every day, okay? You know, we don't get the square ones that often. So if that's your thing, then you need to get on those right now. You know, and the other thing about these is how long lasting they are and how durable they are. Okay, so I've got mine around my driveway. I have a circular driveway in front of the house, and I've driven over them a couple times now.
No.
Because, well, you know,
that would be me.
The whole curvy thing.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, a couple times now I've driven over them. When I cut the grass, I go right over the top of them because they're so low profile. They sit so close to the ground, especially if you stake them in there. They just stay down there. Nobody's setting their lawnmower, unless you're like it's a putting green, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know, for a regular lawn, look at that. So you can literally go right over the top of these.
Okay.
And the stainless steel that's in these is really what makes the difference. I've got some that I've had at this point, I want to say about 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Some of the older ones. Look at that. Yeah, and look at that.
It's almost like you have to point it out.
Yeah, it's like they disappeared. You don't even see them in there. And this grass here, this is like a putting green. It's right here. Your grass would be higher.
Higher
like
than that, yeah.
So once you push them down into it, they just kind of disappear. And that's the neat thing about them because people don't know there's lights there. And all of a sudden they come on, they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, where'd that come? When did you get that installed? You know, no installation, guys. You know, it's like a deck of cards, you throw them out. I mean, it's real simple to do.
And you know that, like when we're talking about like curb appeal of your home, the first thing they always say is like put lighting in there, in your landscaping, in your garden, on the walkway. It looks great, but also a completely dark front house, completely dark in the backyard.
Is the front of your house lit right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
Because you're trying to sell it.
Oh, I was like, why did you go by my house?
No, I didn't go by your house.
That's your house.
I did not go by your house.
Did I drive by and see? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, we extensive, you know what I mean? Just when you put it in your landscaping, it looks so nice.
So here's the thing. One of my friends who's a realtor told me this, because, you know, like my house before the hurricane was for sale, and it's going to be for sale soon. Call me if you're looking for a house down here. So anyway, not hers, mine. All right, so here's the thing. She told me, she goes like, you gotta make sure the lights out there are working and that they're on, because what people do is they'll come by and see the house during the daytime, and then, like I did this